right, all right. Let's see how we're doing here. Let's get it's all right. Welcome everybody. This is um just endeavoring for equality, episode 6, and I don't know if anybody else threw off or was thrown off by the time change. I certainly was. It was scheduled for Sunday, the November 7th. But here we are, and we're making it work, and we're doing what we can with what we have, even with the lighting. Lighting's presenting fundamental challenges for me as of late, so we're going to see what we can do here. Get a little closer here. All right. There we are. There we are. All right. Just getting centered. All right. So so this is just endeavoring for equality, everybody. And this is the time that we're typically Sundays, 1, 2, 3, 4 p.m., 12:34 p.m. Pacific time. Talking about all the great examples of things happening in the world of equality and endeavoring for equality, so that as to not take anything away from anybody else, but more so all praising the good things that are happening with equality efforts and societal advancement. Today's episode is actually called it's called The Second Shift, and it might be a hidden name for some of us, but for other of us, that it actually comes from Estelle Deish's book, Reconstructing Gender. So this is a book that I became aware of in college, and it has it's basically called the Multi-cultural Anthology. The book very much looks like this. It's in the thumbnail of everybody else too. So this little water today. So this is for the purposes of why this might matter to you. You might be a parent. You might be somebody who's curious about what it feels like to be a parent and having the equality in the home. You might be an employer of somebody who's going through a couple different things, and whether or not you have kids, step kids, any kind of kids. Fur kids included in some of these things. There's what's known as the second shift. So the first shift is when you are going and preparing for your workday. You might be with young kids or young babies, tots, and beyond that, you might have school age kids. So the first job in the morning is to make sure everybody's fed, everybody's got breakfast, and everybody's poised to have a successful day, including perhaps mom and dad, or if you're a single parent, you're doing this all by yourself. And so tipping the cap to each of you doing the equivalent of probably 5 jobs when it's all said and done. So in the 70s, there was, a significant thrust into the workforce of what was actually coincidentally known as the 51% majority, 51% minority. And there's a great series also that talks about a lot of this stuff with CNN. It was called The 70s, and they did a decade for each of them. And they talk about the women's liberation movement. And so, we've advanced as a United States culture, and other cultures throughout the world, started introducing things, not just maternity leave, but paternity leave, or you can now be stay-at-home dad, you can be stay-at-home mom still. But back then, in the 70s, the expectation was that the second shift, so if mom and dad are both in the workforce, the second shift, after breaking through cultural norms, was that it was the mother's, historically a lot of the times, the mother's responsibility to do the equal parenting. And this is something that might be near and dear to the hearts of the children of dual working parents, or even single parents trying to make ends meet, for whatever the cause of them becoming single parents were. you know Something didn't work out, or somebody may have suffered a death in the family. But again, that's where all of us can be structures of support, and having compassion for those that are incredible during the workday, and then also realizing that, hey, just as incredible as they are in the workday, they are figuring out that, hey, uh, when it comes time that it's time for the kids to be taken care of, or food to come, there is a whole second shift. So your job after your job, there's even some colleagues that I've said that have said to me is like, yeah, my day job is actually where I get to relax, versus the night job. You have school projects, you have kids that are much more susceptible to you know colds, or hey, they have so many different activities that they have to be ran to, and homework that they have to do, class projects. And then again, that can wear on some people. And so look, back in the 70s, and as it's been evolving, there's I'm sure still glimpses of this, as those who had entered the workforce in the 70s, many of which are still in the or a significant portion of the population are still in the workforce today in some capacity. So I think by now they're likely not still having to raise kids, but at the same time, there is that second shift. And this is an opportunity where each of us have the ability to, whether it's our situation or not, if it's a colleague, if it's one of our direct reports, if it's a friend, or if it's just somebody that we just know. So know that a lot of the times when we have advancement, all of us need to work twice as hard for that advancement. So uh, just the message here this week is another bit by their organizations, by having maternity leaves, even if the mom, historically it's only been one parent being able to take that. But if it's it's also nowadays more and more widespread that both parents can do this. Again, you've just given birth, you've just created a life that didn't exist 9 months ago. And the dad and the mom can be there for those early couple days, again, enjoying the fruits of your project from 9 months ago, and over that course of 9 months of all the different things, all the sacrifices, all the tough nights, and then just enjoying the family there, and then also making sure that that your partner is looked after. And so with that, there's we've evolved as a society. This is one opportunity to where, look, now men have the opportunity to be that stay-at-home parent, or take that leave of absence. And the point of this is, look, you might find yourself in some of these situations where you're having to you're having to be put in a spot where you didn't you're not an expert in things. So with that women's liberation movement, look, we all we're discussing relationships, and dynamics of life are evolving every single day. And so just as uh, opportunistic, or maybe initially a challenge for some to um, embrace that, hey, look, both men and women can be productive in these companies by having something even more to work for. There's recently been what's been known, and starting to be coined more and more, as the Great Resignation, where people don't want to be hired. They've had some bad tastes in their mouth with some of their previous employment experiences, and these types of things where a woman is embraced for having life work for her so that she can look after her kids, not sacrifice that. And then at the same time, as our male counterparts have been able to um, adjust on that front end of things, not only are they more compassionate for their female counterparts, but they're also being able to be much more there and more as we stepped into this. And the point is, this is another example of where we as a society, we might not have got it right originally. There might have been some, additional or some uh, initial challenges of what and that's what I love about this is the course that I took in college was actually gender roles in modern society. And so this book was just expanding awareness to reconstructing gender, not to be confused with gender reconstruction, but no, reconstructing the dynamics of society, the roles that we play. And just even all the different jobs that may have been formerly just thought of as males could only do that, and conversely, just the roles that only women were said to be able to do. Now there's more and more of a crossover, and as we go through generations and generations, that cross pollination is at work, more pun intended, more and more, where again anybody can be anything that they want, and you have that burning desire, that's where it goes. And so again, this second shift is applauding all the parents, and especially those parents that are doing even the third shift. So if there's typically it's a second shift if you have about 5 to 7 hours of uh, time with the kids after school or after work. And then if that child of yours is sick or not feeling well, you're pulling, if you're pulling either a solo night shift, or if you end up having to take them to the hospital emergency room, that is a third. You at least have the support structure there, but that is a third shift where again, kudos to the parents making it happen, and kudos to the parents that now have even more things to look forward to, and more burning desire, passion. And again, if you're an employer, if you're a colleague, or just even somebody who's been through this, you probably know this, but what I'd say is, as you go out into these next 7 days, look for ways that you can find compassion for uh, somebody that might be temporarily going through some challenges with that second and third shift, and know that again, through the advancement of our society, things have gotten better on this front for both the purposes of equality. And when you do, again, it's you need to be long view minded, employer or company, and again, that kind of loyalty, you can't put a price tag on that. And when that person is in the long term in that position where they know that their employer, their boss, their colleagues have their back, because those same colleagues might go through the same thing, they will be much more burning desire committed. Those people will be your best employees, because as my dad used to tell me, is if you want anything done, you ask the busiest person to do it, and they will be the one that finds the way to not only do it, but also again, the person who does it far exceeding expectations. So with that, again, just inviting you one more time, click subscribe. We're doing this every week, and think about ways how you can make welcome other different and help embrace the change of things like the second shift in your life, in your people's life, in your those people that you care about, whether they be employees or coworkers, colleagues, friends, family. Again, there's a lot of great great advancement when we all know that we're all in this together, and we're all, doing the best we can while we're trying to advance this society, this life, as fast as we can. So with that, Ryan Harris signing off. Have a wonderful week, everybody.